everyone, Sam here from Sugar Spun Run, and today I'll be showing you how to make brownie bites. Today's recipe is really easy. These are fudgy, chewy brownie bites, and I'm going to be showing you how to make an easy, optional chocolate ganache topping as well. To get started, you'll need to preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, you will need 12 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Now I've gone ahead and cut mine into tablespoon-sized pieces. This is just going to make it easier for when I melt it in the microwave. We'll also be adding a half cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips in with this butter. Now what we're going to do is we'll take our chocolate chips and our butter and we're going to microwave this in 15-second intervals until the butter and chocolate are both completely melted and the mixture is smooth. Now the reason we're doing 15-second intervals is because if you zap this all at once for like a minute or so, you're going to actually seize your chocolate and you're going to have an unusable mixture that you'll need to throw out. So just be patient and stir really well every 15 seconds. Now that those are melted, we're going to add a half cup of natural cocoa powder and a half teaspoon of instant coffee. This is optional, but I love adding instant coffee to just about anything chocolate. It really helps bring out that chocolate flavor. And we'll just stir these together. Now the reason I like to add the cocoa powder now and by itself is because adding the cocoa powder to this warm butter chocolate mixture is going to help allow your cocoa powder to bloom. This just means that you're going to get a really nicely developed chocolate flavor, so that's why I add it by itself at this point. The little bit of instant coffee, the warm liquid also helps with that and helps develop the flavor there, but I usually wait, mix this in really well, and then we'll add our sugars in just a second. Now we can add our sugars. You are going to need 1 cup of firmly packed light or dark brown sugar and a half cup of granulated sugar. And we'll stir these together. I love using brown sugar when I'm making brownies. It just helps give them a richer flavor and makes everything chewier and more moist. I just love using this instead of just granulated sugar. Now we're going to add 2 large eggs plus 1 egg yolk. You want these to be room temperature. We'll stir this into our batter, and the reason we're using that extra yolk is because it's also going to help make your brownie bites nice and tender and chewy. I'm big on tender, chewy brownies. Now we'll add just a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Stir that together. It smells so good. Okay, our wet ingredients are nicely mixed together. We are going to need a separate bowl for our flour. You'll need all-purpose or plain flour for today's recipe, and you'll be using 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons. Add a half teaspoon of baking powder and a half teaspoon of salt, and we'll just stir this together. And now we can bring back those wet ingredients, that nice chocolate brownie mixture, and we're going to add our flour mixture and just stir everything together until everything's well combined. So that's all there is to making the brownie bite batter, but we still need to prepare our pan. You're going to need a 24-count mini muffin tin, and what I like to do is I'm just going to spray this generously with baking spray. Now make sure you have baking spray. That should have flour listed in the ingredients. Don't use regular cooking spray that's just like a canola oil or something, or your brownie bites are going to stick to the pan. Now if you don't have baking spray, you can generously grease and flour the cavities of the muffin tin instead. And I want to make sure that each cavity is well greased, so I'm just going to use a paper towel and I'm just going to kind of rub that grease into each cavity to make sure it's well oiled, and I'm going to make sure I get a little bit around the surface as well. That's going to keep any brownie bites that overflow just a little bit from sticking to the top there. Now all we need to do is portion out our brownie bite batter. I like to use a cookie scoop for this. It just makes the job a little cleaner and easier. You're going to need about 1.5 tablespoons or a heaping 1.5 tablespoons of batter for each muffin tin. We'll bake these in our 350 degree Fahrenheit oven for about 18 minutes or until a toothpick inserted in the center of one comes out clean, or preferably with a few fudgy crumbs. Now it shouldn't be wet batter, but we are looking for a few fudgy crumbs. Now while those are cooking, we can just wait, do nothing, kick our feet up, and enjoy plain brownie bites. They're still going to be delicious out of the oven that way, but my preference is to make a super simple ganache that we are going to fill those brownie bites with. Now, if you want to do that, you're going to need a small saucepan, and you're going to want to put this on your stovetop over medium heat. We'll place 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips in that pan, a 1/4 cup of heavy cream, and a half tablespoon of butter. We will stir this frequently until the chocolate and butter are completely melted and your mixture is smooth. We're going to flavor this ganache just a little bit more by adding a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and an optional teaspoon of bourbon. Now you can omit this, but I really love the flavor that it adds to my ganache. And we're also going to add just an 1/8 teaspoon of salt into our ganache as well. Stir that together until it's nice and smooth again. It smells so good. Your ganache should be nice and smooth and shiny at this point. We're just going to set it aside while we wait for our brownie bites to finish cooking. You will want to give that ganache a nice little stir every now and then so that it doesn't firm up too much. If you do find that it's firmed up too much to be pourable, you can always put that back over low heat for a couple minutes, stir really frequently, and it'll loosen up and be nice and liquidy again for you. Now, if you didn't make the ganache, that's completely fine. You can let these brownie bites cool and enjoy them as is. They are delicious and fudgy, and you're really going to love them. However, since we made that ganache, what we are going to do is we're going to take a rounded teaspoon and we're going to make indents in each brownie bite. This is going to be the well that we're going to put our ganache in. Now, it's important that you press down the indents while the brownie bites are still hot. So you want to get this done within like 2 to 3 minutes of them coming out of the oven. Let those brownie bites cool for about 10 to 15 minutes, and once they've cooled, we're just going to grab them and just kind of twist them in that muffin tin cavity and pop them out and put them on a cooling rack so they can finish cooling completely and so we can fill them with our chocolate ganache. Your ganache is probably settled a little bit at this point, so just stir it to kind of break it up a little bit and get it nice and liquidy again, and now we can portion it into our brownie bites. I just like to use a small spoon to do this. The ganache in your brownie bites is going to be pretty molten while it's still warm. You can enjoy it this way so long as it's cooled a bit. It's kind of like eating a mini lava cake, but if you let the brownie bites cool completely, you'll have a nice, rich, fudgy ganache center in every brownie bite. Making brownie bites is as simple as that. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's recipe. If you try it out, please let me know what you think, and thank you so much for watching. Hey, if you guys enjoyed today's video, I hope you will give me a thumbs up and please consider subscribing. If you enjoyed this video, here are a few others you might like as well.